call this meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. All right. The City of Greendale, in compliance with our Title VI implementation plan, is a non-discriminating city. We have developed a complaint of discrimination form that is open to the public at any time, along with a voluntary public survey hanging on the back wall. Okay, first of all, I'd like to welcome Anthony Caney as our newest Board of Works member. Anthony is a Valley Woods resident and has been in Greendale for how long?
9 years.
9 years. So, comes with a lot of construction experience, so we look forward to him serving on the board. Okay, I'd like to have approval of the May 13th, 2026 regular meeting minutes.
I so move to approve May 13th, 2026 meeting minutes.
Okay, got a first, do we have a second?
Second.
First and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. I need approval of the bills and claims.
I'll make a motion to approve all properly submitted bills and claims.
We have a first. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, first and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries, thank you. Any audience comments tonight? Miss Linda? Okay. Make note that the parks are happy. I'm moving on. All right, Chief.
I got the monthly report for the month of May. We had a total of 379 calls for service. It brings our year-to-date to 2007. 33 traffic citations were issued. Year-to-date is 84. 11 criminal arrests were made. Year-to-date 53. 15 crash reports were taken. Year-to-date on that's 50. 15 new case reports. Year-to-date on those are 89. Training for the month, all of the officers had taser, firearms, drone, and stops training. And Detective Henderson attended a youth mental health first aid training.
Okay. So I spent a day with Mayor Schwing yesterday. He would like us to operate a second drone with their drone on the Aurora World's Fair parade. So,
Okay.
I've been asked to ask you that.
Sure. During the
Yeah.
parade, you said?
During the parade.
Okay.
So, and his chief will reach out to you.
Okay.
Okay?
Did you have to go through certification and all that to get your pilot? I think it's a pilot license.
It is
almost,
actually,
isn't
yeah. Yeah, the 2 officers right now that are certified, we got a couple more that are planning on going, but they had to go over to the airport to take the test, and so it's pretty,
Nice.
they said it wasn't easy.
it? Yeah. It's impressive.
That's
Okay,
cool.
good. You said we got two guys at Greendale that
Yeah,
are?
2 certified to operate it. Yep.
Okay. Sparky?
For the month of May, we ended up with 32 calls. So far this month, in June, we're at 8 calls. Year-to-date, 154. Out of the runs in May, 23 of those were in the city of Greendale, which included, we had another fire at La Rosa's. We had 1 run in Lawrenceburg Township that we cover. We assisted Lawrenceburg on 2 structure fires. We assisted Bright on 2 calls, also one of those being a structure fire. And then we responded to 4 structure fires in Aurora. That's all I got.
Hey, speaking of structure fires, we've got these 2 on Ridge. Have you heard any? I've not seen any activity
I haven't
at all.
either. None.
They've
I haven't
done
seen.
some electrical work on Ridge Avenue.
They got a temporary meter out back, but it's not. I don't believe it's connected.
I mean, there's a new electrical mast on the side of the house. I saw that was done.
Oh, on
Next to the bank.
the white.
That was there. That was put up. Well, if it's the silver one, they redid that earlier
Right.
last year.
Oh, okay.
It's
Just
just
looked new, I
temporary.
just noticed
Yeah,
it.
You guys did the temporary one out.
we haven't done any that I'm tracking.
I wonder who's got.
They put the stack up. We just connect to it.
Okay, yeah, the stack's
Yeah.
up then.
But the old stack was the silver one. They redid the electric for that apartment or house last year. They redid the
This
electric.
is not
Insurance
what I
companies are
seen.
slow.
It's back behind the house
Temporary one.
on 2x4s, like a.
That's a temporary one. We have not gotten a call for that one yet.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen any activity there anyway, so at either place.
Do you know what the cause was in the Aurora ones? Was it electrical, or do you know? I'm just curious, you know,
I
it
don't
just
hear
seems like a
much.
lot of fires in one town and
I
one
know the
month.
one in Bright was, what, a candle, I believe I heard? No, one in Aurora was a candle in a downstairs, and burnt up through completely through the roof. The one we had down here, the one farther ridge, that was a breaker box in the basement. That's the second fire that's happened in that house. The first one was quite a few years ago. So,
Okay, thank you.
Tommy?
You got your report in front of you. We had 60 calls. That brought us up to 342. Average time in route was a minute. Time we arrived on the scene was 4. Time spent on the scene rendering care was 17. And to a hospital was 11 minutes. Out of those calls, 39 were during the day shift, 21 was the night shift. 47 in the city of Greendale, 6 in the county, and we had 7 mutual aid that we provided. Out of those calls, 31 were treated and transported to hospital, 18 refused treatment at the scene, 5 were no patient contact, 6 were canceled for the scene or when we arrived. Our ambulance should be hearing any day now, hopefully to take delivery.
Nice.
So when it went up to St. John's for final inspection, they found some imperfections with the red paint that they weren't satisfied with. So they reshot the whole red on the ambulance. And tomorrow they are stenciling, so that means it passed inspection. So hopefully in the next couple days, I hear
Good.
we're getting ready to take delivery.
Good deal. What's the plans for the retired
Gov deals.
gov deal?
Yeah,
Good.
deals.
Good deal. Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Before we start unfinished business, our utility director submitted his letter of resignation, what was that, yesterday?
This morning.
This morning.
Didn't accept it, did you?
Well, I did. It's October 26th of 26, so it gives us plenty of time. We're working on his current job description, and we're going to start advertising here soon. So, working toward that. We're going to definitely miss his effervescent smile. October 26th of 26. He'll be here before you know it. Yeah. So, okay, Nathaniel, you're up first. Ridge Avenue Community Crossings Grant.
I have no update at this time.
Okay. All right, how about Now on Avenue Community Crossing Grant?
Yeah, so you saw in your packet a rough cost to do the project at $857,846. That number will change. Kevin and myself, we walked that project probably 2 weeks ago. We're still looking into doing sidewalk from Hag to Locust, and then that'll go into Beckett Landing. Looking at it right now, I think we will be able to get away with just like a small curb on the back of the sidewalk to kind of hold that hillside. The only issue we're working through right now is the last house before Locust. There's 2 utility poles. You got that hillside gets pretty steep there, so we're kind of trying to figure out what makes sense to do there. And then we are also still looking at adding some curbing areas. As of right now, we probably end up doing almost 100% to probably 80 to 100% curb down now in those limits. If you look at it, most of it's just been piecemealed through the years, and to me, doesn't make sense to not just go ahead and replace it. So we're working through those right now. We are actually going to bid the project first before we have to have our budget finalized, which will allow us to kind of know what we can and can't do, because the sidewalk and some of the curb we're going to add, and if a retaining wall is needed, that is not part of the CCMG. So that will allow Becky and myself to kind of know where we sit and what makes sense.
Are you going to include the cost for easement acquisition?
You and I can discuss that.
I did have a couple questions. I think you maybe answered a couple of them. I just saw 1,000 foot of curb you're gonna try to,
Yeah, that's gonna go up. Yeah, like I said, that was, so this estimate was before Kevin and myself walked it. After I kinda went through it, me and him decided best was to go out there and kinda get a true game plan of what we want done. So like I said, that 1,000 foot's definitely gonna go up, along with the sidewalk, and then also, if we're able to do what we're discussing, you're also gonna have to add driveways in there, obviously. So like those numbers are gonna go up.
yeah, you're gonna have to like do a transition. Usually when we did those, you'd go right up to the right-of-way line, just instead of tying right into some beat-up,
Right.
driveway.
Right.
Something else I wanted to ask you too, because, a good portion of it from Cora all the way to the State Road 1, there's no curb out there.
No, correct.
So that's,
Yeah.
I started thinking, well, maybe 1,000 foot, probably in the general vicinity.
Yeah, there's more there than you think, but I do agree with you. You do have, 2 blocks roughly of no curb at all. There are some areas that at one time had curb and just have been destroyed and beat up. So those are areas we would actually add back to it.
So refresh my memory too, these community crossings grants, you're not allowed putting in new sidewalks, or you are?
Correct, you're not. So how it works is, if we want to add something new, that is not covered underneath the funding. So that's where that would be 100% on the city to fund. Anything that is already existing, we can add to the CCMG.
Okay, but if it was existing, are you allowed even doing sidewalks? Even if you had existing sidewalks, can you redo sidewalks?
According to Kevin, you can.
Can.
I think there does have to be like a reason why you're doing it, if it plays a factor in the curb, if it's combination curb and walk, whatever the case may be. But like I said, the sidewalk we're wanting to add is 100% funded through us.
Okay,
And if we're wanting to add any curb that was never there, that is 100% funded through us.
okay. And was there any, I know you said this is preliminary, I got 2 more questions. Is there any kind of, what do you want to say, contingency put in here? I didn't see any contingency.
We don't have any as of right now.
Okay, and then lastly, just explain that one more time about your bidding. So you want to bid it out?
Yeah, so there's 2 ways you can do it. You can do it how we did this last one, kind of have the funds together and then put it to bid. Or you can bid it first, and all we have to do is have basically a promissory letter that, we'll be able to cover the funds.
The 20%.
The 20%. And then that allows Becky and myself to actually have true cost with it, and then put that into our budget, and then award the bid essentially, and then go from there with it. So like I said, so it'll be bid probably in July, late July probably we'll bid it, hopefully, if we stay on track. We'll take those numbers, and from those numbers, then Becky and myself will then know exactly what we need to come up with, because we're obviously gonna need more than the 20% match if we're trying to add sidewalk and other things.
Okay.
When does this round of CCMG open?
September?
Yes.
I think that's September, because I know they changed it.
Yeah.
They moved it back.
Will the 2026 be closed out by September?
No, it will not. Because they're not starting that until August 8th, I think I said it was. August 1st, August 8th, somewhere in there. That's when road will start Ridge.
Can we apply in September if it's not finished?
According to Kevin, that we can do, because we're applying for the 2027. So
Yeah,
like
I think you can, but like we had with Tebs, not Tebs, Oki, that one was hanging, we weren't, if we
Yeah,
didn't get it
we have to
done.
get it signed off,
Right.
yes.
I gotta understand, community crossings grant, typically you put together your estimate, you get an idea, then you put together your package, then you submit it, then they review it, then they award. So it's kinda, you got the cart before the horse. So you're gonna go ahead and put everything together and bid it?
Correct.
And then you can, after the fact, submit after you got bids?
According to everything that I've done with Kevin, and this is per Kevin, we are allowed to do that. All we have to do is have essentially the promissory note of the 20%, which would be the preliminary cost to go to bid with. But we don't have to finalize the cost until after essentially the bids.
I gotta ask, what happens if they don't award it to you? And someone else has a better project, and
Well, then we
you've
don't.
already bid it out?
We don't have to accept the bids.
You don't have to take it. You can just.
Right, so basically, essentially what we are able to do is, you bid on it, we don't have to award you the project right away. We have some time frame in between to then make sure we're good on our end.
Okay. With new curbs is gonna come additional storm.
So that's what we're working at right now. We're trying to make sure we're not adding any inlets or storm to it. So only the areas where we don't have to add those.
Because if you put curb, you have to add inlets, I guess.
Well,
assume.
and
Water out of the street?
yeah, in certain spots, you're not gonna have anywhere else to go with it, so.
Okay, makes sense. Okay. All right. Sean, now on Avenue water main replacement.
All right, they have 90% of the pipe in. They did pressure test earlier this week. They put a poly whip on the end and it blew off because of the poly. When they got it up to 200 pounds, and watched it just drop real quick in one section, so they had to come back the next day. They put a copper flare fitting on their end, and they had a little trouble it's broken down in two sections. You have the alternate section and then the base section. The alternate is from Hag to Cora, and then from Cora to the tunnel. The alternate section, they got up to 200, let it sit for 2 hours, didn't even move. The base section, they got up to 200, blew off the whip. They came back the next day, fixed that, got it up to 200, and it dropped a little bit. So they waited. They dropped it down to 75 and let it sit overnight. Came back the next day and we pumped it up to 200, and it sat there for 2 hours. Didn't bother moving. They took water samples yesterday, sent them up there, 6 samples, 3 from each section, because Kevin was saying that 1 from each end and every tie-in, but they're not tied in yet. So we went to the middle and got another sample. Out of those 6 samples, 2 for the base failed. They took 6 more up this morning, and they just got word this afternoon that the first set, there was 2 out of 6 that failed for the base. The alternate passed the first time. They took another set up this morning. They're gonna wait till tomorrow. Hopefully they all pass, and then they're gonna take another one up Friday to cover them, so they have 2 passing on each section. And then they're planning on tying in Hag next week. Well, they're tying in off of Park Grove, because that's a feed coming down from the blue tunnel. They want to tie that in first, and then go down tying the tunnel, so we can still feed North Dearborn, and then start working from there up, doing all the services. And then get up to Hag, switch everything around, so they'll tie in that, get rid of that old 4-inch and all that, tie into the 8-inch and everything. That's the plan for right now.
I'll be surprised if their second set passes back tees after the first set failed.
Yeah.
She
They're
said,
probably gonna have to rechlorinate and.
yeah, he told me it was strong. We've been taking the little chlorine sample and all that, and it was 2.9 this morning. I mean, you can smell it in there.
Could've
Hopefully.
just been a bad way he took the
Maybe.
sample too.
Maybe,
you know?
maybe they had bad
That's what-
bottles, maybe they had.
I have Taylor working with them, make sure they do their samples right and all that. But they were flushing today, and they're gonna be flushing tomorrow and everything, they want to try and drop the chlorine level down, so when they tie in, it's not spiking in people's houses.
So you're gonna have both the new mains and the people on the old mains, they're both gonna be, how do you wanna say, energized? And you're gonna
Energized.
take your time and just move all the services over onto the new, I guess,
Correct.
right at the meter pits?
Yep,
Okay.
moving the meter pits and everything, just starting from the tunnel, working their way up to the Hag section.
I don't wanna hex you, I think the job's gone relatively well. I
Yeah.
mean, going down the middle of a road like that,
Yeah, they had a
project
few
scary.
hiccups here and there, but it all worked out.
Gonna have them. Good job.
Sean, now on Avenue North and South Electric.
All right, the electric for the north and the south is basically done, besides removing poles from Probasco all the way to the tunnel. Currently, right now, they are working in the Shenley, putting taller poles to reroute the 34.5, getting it up above the building. That's where they're at currently.
I was down there a week or 2 ago, man, they were getting with it down there at Probasco and jeepers, I don't know how many bucket trucks they
So
had.
one day they had 12 bucket trucks in here.
Almost looked like a hurricane.
About a week ago, a little over a week ago, they had 12 bucket trucks in here.
Okay, good.
Water plant renovations, I'm gonna let you know so I reached out to Karen Savidra, engineer with American Structure Point. They are completing the basis of design report, wrapping that up, and Ryan will be providing you an update this week, with our invoice, and then we can schedule a time to get together soon. I know I wanted to check in with Sean and see if he needs help completing the asset management report that is due by July 1st.
There is something, how's that? I have to report that we are working on it by July 1st. That's all I have to do, and yes, I'll have that done.
Okay, so she just,
Something new.
They passed a new statute that the utility is required to have an asset management plan.
And I know Vince wasn't here at the sewer district meeting yesterday. You like to skip those, so.
thanks, thanks a lot. 6 hours with.
But we're looking at the same we want to have a meeting with the same company that the sewer district's using for their asset management, to hear what they have to say, because they have a really good program and all that. Have them come in and talk to us about it here and see what it costs. And try and get an idea with the key members of the city and all that. So if I don't hear from Chris this week or them, Monday morning, I'm calling Chris to find out, okay, give me a phone number.
We used to have, that's what Joe and Angie worked on a lot, asset management, did they not? Becky, have you seen that anywhere?
No, when I came into office, Derek was working with, Baker Tilly,
Okay,
and it never got finished.
okay. There was a guy
The
that came
gentleman
in.
passed away that was doing it.
Oh, no,
and after
really?
he passed away,
The son took over. Yeah.
You're right, it was the
Man up.
man in the sun.
it never stopped getting updated, yeah. They
Oh,
called him
Lord.
to get it updated, and then he passed away.
Oh, I hate to hear that. It's too bad. Okay.
Okay, Nathaniel, Valley Woods Dam storm outfall.
Yeah, so that project is ready to go to bid if the board wants to go that route. The preliminary total would be $141,556.38. That work would be replacing the primary pipe and spillway through that area, and then abandoning the old spillway and pipe. So they would remove the head wall and grout the pipe, and then they would add reinforced concrete pipe on the other side of Sycamore Woods into that holding pond, if you want to call it that, on kind of John Commons property there. So that's kind of the preliminary plan on that. After reviewing that, and I've talked to Mark with that, the water lines on the plans are in the wrong spot, and like I said, those plans are only about 95% complete, so he knows that some of the utilities still need to be corrected on those areas. So like I said, it's pretty much just up to the board if you guys want to proceed with bidding that. I know that we don't have the money in MS4 or any other of our budgets right now, so like I said, that's up to you guys.
So that would be, we could go to Riverboat if, what nobody knows is the urgency or the necessity of this project, right? We know.
That's my question. This whole project was already in the works before I came on the board.
Right.
Nathaniel said something in an email that, what's driving this project?
Well.
Well, I'll tell you what, that ag riser is in horrible shape, and at any moment, that ag riser, corrugated metal pipe could just fail, and you're gonna drain that lake. I mean, it has scared me for some time. That was my biggest concern with it, because there was one at the other end of the lake that we replaced years ago, probably about 7-8 years ago, and it was just in horrible condition. It's all corrugated metal pipe. You've got a big sewer line coming from Valley Rural, you got a 8-inch high-pressure line going up feeding the top of the hill water line, and then another 12-inch line that goes up feeds the Valley Woods tank. I don't know, that place scared me, it always did. You know my idea about Riverboat, I mean, you got failing infrastructure, it's what that Riverboat was all about, needs to get fixed.
So, we all know that Valley Woods has a history of poor construction, and we just,
Huh?
yes. I said it. So, and we know how it was all done and as cheap as possible, and I don't know the lifespan on that pipe, it's been there forever. So I guess we need to decide how urgent we think this is. The problem is, they put the pipe, they laid it in the bottom of the base of the dam, which they don't do today. They bring the pipe and the water down and around, which, you know, they haven't done that for 50 years, right? That was done in the
It's-
70s.
It's not technically a dam, it's awful close to being officially a dam. It's not on like a IDNR's inspection. I think there's something that says if it's more than 20 foot, it's officially a dam where you'd have a IDNR involved in it. But, I mean, you've just got handfuls of corrugated metal pipe that's failing everywhere, and that, I don't think we've ever, I'm trying to remember, did they ever TV the outfall of that? I know I lined the 2 overflow pipes and got them, because I
Yeah,
was always
so-
concerned that
so
one
I-
pipe was gonna fail.
Yeah, so I spent all day today reviewing that. When I first started this morning, as I'm reviewing it, I saw the secondary outfalls on the plans, and I'm like, I've never seen those in my life driving through there. So Nate and myself went out there and started exploring, and they have been covered up and buried for God knows how long. So the guys, they got them uncovered, and I went back out there this afternoon, and they looked like they were in good shape.
You talking about the 2 pipes?
So where the new house is being built on the corner, yeah, there's the 2 pipes right there.
They got covered up?
Yeah, with debris and
Okay.
all kind of stuff.
Well,
I mean,
they're lined.
no, right, correct. But I said when I looked on the plan this morning, I'm like, I didn't know those existed, so I had to go find them, obviously. So once we got the brush and debris removed, they looked like they were in good shape, and like you said, they're lined.
Yeah.
There is no TV work done on the main pipe. Bear Becker never did that.
I can't
So-
remember, you got in the cabinet and looked, and I just can't remember right now, I've slept since then, if we TV'd that line or not, but I know we had problems with that ag riser before, and I was always worried, you look at it, it's corroding, and I go all over, you know, and just see these corrugated metal pipes from
Right.
the, what, 70s? When that thing was probably built?
Yeah.
It's not long for the world.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're fixing one tomorrow on Mike Street. We're ripping out that.
Corrugated metal?
Yep,
No bottom in it, probably?
yep, it's trash.
Um,
And I said, that was part of my email to you guys this morning was, you know, I just don't know, this was done before me, so I don't know some of the answers on how pressing is it, and like I said, there is no TV work done to really give a definitive answer of this is gonna hold or it's not gonna hold, you know?
It's the corrugated metal pipe from the 70s, it's not gonna hold. It's not gonna get better, it's not gonna get any cheaper. And, you know, I don't know, you know, how you guys are budgeting a riverboat and stuff like that, but, you know, this would be something that would be perfect for a riverboat type infrastructure fix.
Mike, do you have a comment?
To free out.
Just a question,
No.
So we need to
the
appropriate.
property
Council will need to.
in
If we
between
do
the
it this
dam,
year.
and I know it's not technically a dam and
We could
opening,
work on a budget for next year.
there's been discussion over the years, at one point, there was gonna be
That would be
multifamily apartments built there. There's been discussion about putting homes there, and I've heard that they would have to move various things, stormwater, sewer. And everything.
Be sewer.
And maybe, ask for what, I don't know, there was a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, correct.
By us doing that, is there any efficiencies, if there's anything there has to be moved to do everything at once? No, okay.
I would say no.
Okay, I just didn't know what we're doing there
Yeah.
impacts.
Cause I mean, I guess to me, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think some of that stuff, if it needs to be moved, that would be on the developer. You know what I'm saying?
100% agree, yeah. No, I would
So-
agree, I just didn't know, okay.
So Becky and Nancy, what's your thoughts?
I think we've spent a lot of riverboat this year. My recommendation would be to try to budget it next year, maybe out of stormwater, and if we need more
Okay, well, my
riverboat, but
only, this is my only fear. This is a project that would need to be done in August, when it's as dry can be, as we all know that, when the lake's not taking on any water. So it's either do it this August or a year from now, so that's where we'd be, so. And I guess I just.
The council too, to appropriate more riverboat.
Right. No, I get it.
There's a time frame for advertising and getting the bids back from it, it has to be done now. It's pretty, getting kind of tight.
Well,
No, I mean, the plans he said are 95% done.
Yeah.
You just gotta get a bid invitation together and pull the
Yeah.
specs together and get it on the street. It's
Yeah,
not that big a
really,
deal.
really, the only 5% that needs adjusted is the utilities that are marked, and, it shouldn't really be no big deal, honestly.
Council still has the purse strings of Riverboat, right?
yeah. Yeah. Well, is it something we need to take to council? Is that how you want to go with this, or?
Well, I mean, I'm just expressing my thoughts. I know that pipe is not in that good a shape, and, I mean, I can't tell you it's gonna fail tomorrow,
No, I know.
but, you know, it's been living on the wire there for a while, and we've had a lot of problems with stuff out there. It sounds like they're fixing one up there on Running Deer. This pipes are,
Yep, that'll be tomorrow.
Bad
Where the
shape.
Road's caved in and the pipe's bottom's gone, so.
if that ag riser fails, that lake's gonna drain. You ain't stopping it. You're gonna have dead fish everywhere.
Smell.
Oh, yeah.
That stinks. So,
I mean, if you want, I'll make a motion. I mean, if it goes through, my recommendation is to utilize riverboat money or some other funding, if there's money in another account, maybe partially MS4, and then also maybe riverboat. I don't know, has MVH got money? I mean, is there an MVH still? I don't know.
there is.
There is.
Okay. Wasn't there another account we used to get money out that used to, I can't remember what it.
Cumulative capital.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of wiped that too.
You wiped that?
Yeah, with the,
Okay.
not the garbage trucks, the
I get it.
truck we just bought,
Yeah.
So,
the 450.
I'll make a motion to proceed with the repair, fix of the pipe over at the Valley Woods Dam, in accordance with Bear Becker's plans, and my recommendation is to city council to proceed with it.
Okay. We have a first. Do we have a second?
Second.
Got a first and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion carries. We will take it to council. Thank you. All right. That puts us at, Valley Woods Drainage, Springwood Court, and Indian Woods Trail.
Yeah, so he also sent me over a very rough design for that as well. I haven't had a lot of time to review it. I've been working to review the dam. I've already have discussed with Sean, we have some questions on where some of his utilities are at going through that Springwood ditch line, so Sean and I are working through that to actually know where the sewer main is and the two water lines that run up through there. So once we get that information, I'll send that back to Bear Becker and start kind of designing that a little bit better.
Okay. All right. St. Elizabeth Drainage Project. Sean, you want to take this portion first, or?
Okay, that's fine. I don't wanna jump in front of Nathaniel, but, there's a quote on your desk here from Smith Corps. Now, on that quote, just at the top, where it has 1, 2, and 3, scratch out number 2. I got confirmation, this quote has nothing to do with relocating the storm. This is just for the force main. There's a little map on the back, if you notice.
So item number 2 has nothing to do with this
Has
quote.
nothing to do with this.
Okay.
Look at the little map on the back, right now, they're held up. They're not doing anything over there. They decided moving that blue line, the water main, securing that, for the force main to go through there, for the storm to go through there, it was too close. They wouldn't be able to secure that good while they were going through. They wanted to shut it down for 12 hours. They asked me to have fire chief come up, run a fire hose from the hydrant up there on Bulldog's property over the hill to the drainage in that low area, go through, underneath the road, through the tunnel, back up to where this Valleywood substation is to hook up back into that hydrant, the bypass.
You
It's
didn't
like,
wanna
you can't do that.
You didn't wanna play ball, did you?
I didn't even bother asking chief. It's like, we can't do this. They're talking about over 800 feet of fire hose.
Yeah.
They're doing all this, and there's no way. So Jay came up with this plan. He wants to move the force main. They want to run the storm back up on that hillside. So if you look at that, the green line, the yellow line is the existing force main. They're gonna abandon that, and they're gonna go down where the green is. Run that green, a new force main tied in with 45s. Their quote for that $14,932.89 is to dig the new line, put the pipe in her during the day, then at night when we can shut down that force main, do the connection then. And then after that, they'll start working on they'll cut that force main, the current existing one that we're gonna abandon, cut that out of there, rip that out, and start working on the storm drain, as you see the orange and the brown. But this is just for them to move the force main so they can get through there.
So they won't touch the water then,
They won't
right?
touch the water,
I
and
was nervous about that water, to
yes,
say the least.
there's just too much
Where's the gas at?
out by the road. The gas is located out by the road.
Is there the fibers out there too?
Yes, lots of it.
So all you gotta deal with is the force main, the new storm, and the water. You only have three
They're gonna
things.
put it on top of the water, the blocking, cause it's like 4 feet down, the blocking. So they can put the new force main right on the backside of the blocking, but a little bit higher than it. It'll all work out, they said. I'll have a guy there. I'll be there, one of my guys will be there.
How deep is the storm that they've got going there? I'm just curious.
That area's almost 4 feet.
It's all, okay,
Yes.
it's a good thing.
I'm I'm sorry, the force main's about 4 feet. The storm's about 7, almost 8 feet deep in that area for the new risers. And I'm not even gonna talk about the storm. I had a meeting out there the other day with Jay and Kevin about the force main, moving the force main. And I asked them, look, this is something different than what your stormwater project, so you have to get me a quote on that. And he was explaining where he doesn't wanna touch the water, especially we don't have a backup feed. And that's something the city may have to look at later, putting a backup feed.
To the cancer center.
Yeah, wow.
Well, you have a hotel there, and people are always in that hotel.
Well, the water line got installed years and years and years ago, you know, and again, there wasn't a whole lot going on over there. It was pretty much La Rosa's and the cinema. There was no envisioning of hospitals and cancer centers, but yeah, there's definitely needs to be another feed over there, that's for sure.
So he doesn't wanna mess with that water, he doesn't wanna take the chance, cause he said he was putting it together out in his lot, an idea of what he can use to hold that, and he put fittings together the way it is currently. He said, you can't secure it. There's no way of securing it. And that, because I won't let him shut it down. But this quote is just to move the sewer force main from, it's currently behind that utility pole, and they're gonna bring it out in front by the water line, so they can put the storm behind the utility pole and keep running.
So this would be paid through the sewer?
Sewer.
Yeah, okay.
So that force main, the new force main is gonna be right on top, at least a short section of the 12-inch.
Right next to it, yes, not far from it.
How deep's the 12?
Oh, it was like, I'm trying to think, I didn't put a tape measure, it was close to a little over 4. When they uncovered it, we saw the steel casing, they uncovered that going underneath the road.
A lot going on.
Yeah.
Trying to pick the worst of two evils. I mean, unhooking the 12 and doing what they were talking about doing. I remember talking to Sean about it. It's like, man, that is scary, to say the least.
It wouldn't be bad if we had a backup feed over
Yeah,
there.
but you
we
don't.
And my biggest fear, one of the biggest fears, that hotel. Cancer Center shuts down at night. Hotel, we always have people there. And that, but you
Well,
still
we're
need
soon-
the fire suppression in
We're
that
soon to have
hotel.
2 hotels.
Yes. but you need fire suppression there, and you can't take away from that.
Yep.
Where's the right of way? Do you know?
On the backside or the front side by the road?
Backside towards like, this is right there by Trav's, right?
Yes, right where the force main is, you're probably a couple feet away from that wall. Where the current force main in yellow, you're probably less than 3 feet from the wall.
Andy, can you, I can't remember all IDEM rules, but can you go through there and like concrete encase the force main and put the storm right next to it, something like that?
They're allowed to be within 10 feet of each other if they are in completely separate ditches.
Okay.
Which is,
And then also, I remember you could like encase inside of a pipe, right? So you could put some ductile in and then encase it, like if it's a 6-inch pipe, which I think it is.
It is.
You could put it inside maybe a 10 or a 12-inch and just have that length encased.
I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's required.
Okay, I just don't remember all the IDEM
I
rules.
think if it's within the 10 foot, they both have to be, you know, a pressure class pipe, but
So then you're saying if we
which
put,
obviously they are.
so the pipe that they're putting in wouldn't be just N12, or are you talking putting in, I mean, we could put in some C900, like, what size is that storm?
I don't know.
Off the top of my head, I don't know what it is either. I'd have to
Is that
look.
what you're
But
saying?
wouldn't the
Both
sewer,
pressure pipes, we can put them right next to each other, right?
sewer would have to be encased, because it's so close.
If,
Wouldn't the
as long
sewer?
as they're in distinct separate ditches.
Okay.
Wouldn't
what
the
we're saying?
sewer have to be encased when it's so close to the water line?
It's allowed to be within 10 feet, so long as it's in a separate ditch.
Well, what if it's not? What if they have it opened up one big ditch so they don't hit that water line when they're putting that sewer line in there? Should that be encased then? And how far should they run it? Guess just around that water line? Cause like we did on the water line over there on Allen, they encased it because it was crossing the
Yeah.
sewer.
Well, Jereza was the designer on that one too, but what we're saying is just build the brown line and
Mhm.
not do anything else, except you might have to, I mean, that's a pressure pipe. Maybe if you built and what Andy's saying is if it's in a separate ditch, they can be right next to each other potentially. I thought you had to have like your storm pipe, instead of using like N12, you could use like some C900, which is a pressure pipe. And if both pipes were pressure rated, then you could get away with it. It's gonna be a heck of a lot, not a heck of a lot cheaper, but it'd be cheaper doing it that way, and instead of having your force main right over top of your 12-inch water main over
The
there.
force main currently is only like 2 feet away from the utility pole. It's gonna be super hard to get the storm in there between the
Yeah,
force
I
main and the
didn't-
utility pole. That's
didn't-
why they wanna move it.
I
They
didn't
won't
see
be able to
that.
get between it.
Okay.
It was that or mess with that water line, go past that water line. They're afraid they're gonna mess that water line up and have that blowing up. And I have to agree with them. They've hit our force main twice.
You need an answer by when? Now, right?
Kind of. He
That'd be
had,
nice.
Nathaniel has to meet with them tomorrow about the storm, or whenever about the storm.
Yeah, we're meeting with them tomorrow to discuss the storm, but yeah, ideally, we kinda are waiting for approval on what you guys wanna do with the sewer before we can really proceed with storm.
This is what, did Rezno look at this?
Yes, Kevin looked at it.
Does he like it?
Yes. He's the one that came up with the idea, because we were out there trying to figure out how we can do this, and Kevin's like, wait a minute, what if we do this? Can you bring your storm, box, make a box turn 90, then turn 90, go down, all that, and make it go around the pole? And it's like, well, the sewer there, you can't. So Kevin's like, let's move the sewer. And they wanted to do 90s, like, no, 45s. You can't put 90s there.
How close is the original alignment of the sewer to the water?
Couple feet away from the water line. When they dig down, they're gonna expose the backside, and that's what he's afraid of, that backside blocking. They're gonna take that out, moving the trench box.
Blocking of that T that's feeding across,
Correct.
across the road.
Correct.
And that's your only feed in there.
Yes, sir.
What size is that storm?
We don't know.
I'm not sure.
For some reason, I wanna say 24, but.
That's what I'm thinking,
I wanna say
24, but I
24.
don't.
So I have one last question, where the T, then the 90, and it cuts over the 12, then you found the casing and it goes underneath. What's the distance between the 12-inch and the edge of pavement?
The 12-inch as in that
That short stretch, it's
coming
parallel?
down? I can't tell you that, Steve. I didn't measure it off the, from the water line to the pavement, I didn't measure
And
that.
I'm sure that casing's like a 24-inch casing too.
Yes.
It's huge.
It's huge.
I mean, they could tunnel underneath the casing and get over by the edge of pavement, you know what I'm saying? They go kind of deep, but they'd stay away from the blocking on the 12, but you're right next to the road. If you had to.
You have fiber out, they've been hitting that, they hit that fiber line and the gas line out
I
there.
don't think they're
up
gonna
by
wanna
the
mess
road.
with that.
I don't think they're gonna go on the other side, east of that water line.
Okay. Well, I can't design it right here, so. Sounds like you gotta do something here, right?
We do. That spot right there is, everything else we were able to work around, they were able to work around the sewer and the water, except right there.
Did Kevin look at the numbers?
That's what, I made sure he looked at number 2 on there, because I didn't wanna pay, my question was 20 hours for the work, and, they said during the day, they're gonna put all this pipe in, get it all ready, move, and then at night, they were able to shut everything down.
So what's the total amount then, Sean, if the 8,000's not part of it? Or is it I don't understand. You said
No,
the.
no, number 2 at the top, under the RFCO, you have 1, 2, and 3.
Relocate, okay, I'm
Yes,
sorry. I
that
didn't
number
understand.
2 there, take that out of
All
there.
right.
I'm sorry, not the price.
So all that.
Yeah.
Okay. I reluctantly make a recommendation to approve for $14,932.89 to relocate the 6-inch force main and the storm system at the, was it US 50 storm project due to multiple conflicts and site constraints.
Okay, we have a first, we have a second.
Second.
First and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Same, motion carries.
And just, once in the thing, it's done with his meeting, then I'll let him know, but I don't want, see how it comes out with the storm, if they have problems. We're just not gonna do it just to do it.
No.
We're gonna do it if they're gonna continue with the storm this direction.
Okay. So it's
Just,
kind,
just to throw out an idea, possibly, you could possibly directional drill next to that force main, deep, directly under it, pop back up on the other end, tie it in with both ends
With the new force main,
with a new force main, rather than put it up there next to the water. And then you could come back and abandon that temporary deep spot and put the existing force main right back into service.
he did talk about directional drone, but he was thinking it was gonna be more.
Yeah, I don't
And
know
all
if it'd be
that.
any more or not, but just an idea.
What's that length between basin to basin on storm? What's the distance?
Here, he was talking, when I was out there, he was saying it was gonna be no more than 2 sticks. They're gonna put no more than 2 sticks there, cause they're gonna do the ends first on the storm, the light orange, they're gonna do those first, and then move the sewer and all that, and then come back, and when they when they start doing the brown on the, behind the utility pole, they're gonna pull out the old force main, but he wants to make sure it's less than 2 sticks, so they can piece it in there, it matches up.
So Andy, are you saying directional drill from here to here?
And if they don't tear out the old force main, which maybe they won't have to,
I get you.
you just put it right back in service, that way you don't have it stick a deep force main. It's in there 10 or 12 feet deep that you have to try to get to someday, but.
We could use some of Shannon's fire hose.
Right.
Let's not talk about.
Need
this
less
force
than
main.
600-700 feet this time.
I don't have that much
Sorry.
spare laying around.
Looks like the whole thing's only 140 feet,
Yeah.
force main that they're talking about putting in.
You ought to ask Smith Corp. and Kevin to think about that. It's a good idea.
Drill.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. it's
let's
an
do
idea.
that, and I will keep you guys in the loop
Okay.
I'll email you
Cool.
as that we progress forward.
Sorry it took so long.
Oh, no, I understand. Okay, Nathaniel, your portion of the Sandy drainage project.
We pretty much all covered it together.
Got it.
so.
Okay. Stellar project at Ridge Avenue, for those of you that weren't here for Memorial Day and sewer pipe debacle with the boring company, we're kind of on hold right now with Stellar project, so we will give you an update next month.
I would like to give a shout out though to all the guys who are involved, Randy Goodwin, Bob Miller, and Tyler Ballard, but especially a big shout out to Taylor Rourke, though, our water and sewer foreman. He really, really stepped up when we needed him, so he's
Above and beyond.
Yep, absolutely.
So,
Make sure we give him a shout out. He was there in my place.
yes, the whole.
And all that.
Yeah, I got volunteered since somebody took a 2 weeks vacation.
Yeah, yeah. And also,
Complete contracting.
yeah, Randy Stavel.
Yep.
All the job.
Yeah, he was on his way to hang with the grandkids when I made that phone call, so.
Yeah, turned around and went back and got a piece of equipment for us, so big thanks to all of them. Okay, new business, and this is kind of important. We need a loan from the electric reserve to the water for the water main project. So what do we need, Anthony, from this group?
The, approval of the loan agreement and the promissory note, that can be in the same motion, and then we have a resolution approving the loan. So-
Okay,
So how much is the loan for?
is it 700? Yep. All right, so, in one motion, we're gonna do an inter-utility loan agreement from electric reserve to water for water main project, and a promissory note for loan from electric reserve to water, correct?
Yeah.
Here
Okay.
it is. Only question I had is, do we have to apply interest? What's the interest for? The agenda I was looking at said 2% interest on it.
Yeah, we did that because the water utility is getting an SRF loan,
Okay.
and,
Electric's
you don't
trying to
have
dig
to,
the
I mean,
water.
you're the board, but you probably should get some interest to the electric utility. But you can say no interest.
I'm just asking.
Your
I
choice.
knew there was maybe something in Indiana statute that said you had to do interest on it.
You don't have to.
Okay. I don't know, just,
Okay.
why would one utility gig 2%?
Well,
Another utility?
2%'s a gift nowadays, but
I hear
anyway, right?
Okay, we're running out of time. I make a motion to, recommendation to approve the inter-utility loan agreement and the promissory note as submitted, $700,000 with a, it's still in here, wait, 2%? Well,
From the electric reserve to water.
electric reserve to the water, department.
Okay. We have a first, we have a second?
Second.
Okay, first and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, well, this is an easy one. Now, do we need a resolution? Anthony, right back?
Yeah, just if you could pass the resolution.
Okay, we need to pass the Board of Works Resolution 2026-05, approving the utility loan from electric reserves to water.
So moved.
I got a first,
Second.
second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. As you know, or probably know, that the last 2 months, we've had to raise trash rates, sanitation rates, in order to replace, we've taken delivery of one new single axle rear loader garbage truck, and we have ordered a second one. In doing so, we have a 2006, is that right, Nathaniel?
Yeah.
International that we'd like to send to Lutz auction, surplus property. We got every last mile out of it, let's just put it that way. We truly did. It's to the point where we had to send a street sweeper behind it. Its days were done. So, I'd like to have a motion to approve sending the old garbage truck to Lutz's auction services.
It's resolution 2026-06, I so move.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Is that a motion?
I made a motion.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes, sorry.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Truck is gone. Thank you. All right. Anything else, guys? Anything you're concerned about? All good? Need a motion to
Motion to adjourn.
adjourn. Thank you. We got a first, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Have a good morning.
You too.